so today we mock up an exhaust for the open downpipe on the on-3 turbo kit. So this 351 has been a blast. You can't hear yourself think. The downpipe dumps right underneath the passenger seat. What do you think?
Good.
Good. I like it.
What is that?
It's my microphone so they can hear me.
Oh.
Yep. So if you remember from my last video, we were going to mock up from that exhaust tip that I have. On3 makes a wide pipe coming off of this. It's fairly cheap for what it is, but they only make it for the 3-inch downpipe, not the 3.5-inch downpipe that's on this kit. So I would have to buy the adapter and all that. Well, it's not that big of a deal. I'm trying to stay at a budget here. I mean, it is what it is, and use what you got. Also, I am not a welder. I can melt some metal together, but I am not a welder. But it'll hold. So this is our creation that we have. What I did was I cut off the tips. I went ahead and found some 3-inch. I can run dual 3s coming off the back. I wrapped some, I have some SOS pads in between the two. I double stacked them so there's enough room to slide pipe in there. And then once I slid these in, I tack and they're on the center. Basically just beat that around and just tack the whole way with my awesome Chicago Electric flux core welder. But hey, use what you got. You know what I'm saying? If you gotta make it work, you gotta make it work. If you don't think the professionals patch shit together to get them going, we don't work with the same professionals, I'll tell you that. So this is what we got here. So downpipe dumps right here, and basically have this coming off in Y. What we're going to do is we'll shoot one down. We're going to dump it out in front of the tire. We'll come on the other side, dump it in front of the tire. We're going to run these knockoff single chambers. They are what they say. So there's one basically V cut in there, and then that's what you get. Now it does quiet it down, and it'll be a whole lot better inside the car than it was. I'll run one on each side, and when this thing's shooting fireballs out, one, we'll be able to see them, and two, I won't have to worry about them feeling them down by my feet, because when this thing backfires, when it's up on the anti-lag, you can feel it in your feet. I mean, it's shooting flames underneath the car. So I went ahead and ordered one of the cheapest 3-inch universal kits we could find. And I won't use all of this, but I have some exhaust repairs to do on the Platinum Edition, and I did timing chains, cam phasers, tensioners. Baby girl, there's new waters over there. Go grab a new bottle of water. It's in front of the car. So, not going to use it all here, like I said. And then I got to fix some 3-inch that's on the Platinum Edition. Probably do a resonator delete while I'm at it. Might as well there. And then I did cam phasers, timing chain. If you have any questions about 3.5 EcoBoost stuff, I can help you out a little bit. You can throw them at me any way you want to. And then we'll get back to this. Let me throw this together. I'm going to mock some things up real quick. And then I'll get back to you with how it looks underneath, what all I had to do, what all it looks like, why I went with what I did, you have any questions or you just want to critique my my welding, let me know. Like I said, I'm not a welder, but I can melt some things together and it'll hold. We have two single chambers. They have a 3.5 inch and a dual 3 inch, and they both dump out in front of the tires. So this is just temporary-ish. You know, get me through this season of cruising around. And then I'll this winter I'm gonna do a bunch of work. I got to rerun some fuel lines. I really want to be able to tuck 3 inch up over my axle and out the back. So it's kind of a tight squeeze, but we'll see if we can squeeze that in. I got some 315s to put in the rear of this thing, so we'll order those. We'll get some 315s in, throw them in, and then that'll really tell us what we have for room with the with these 3 inch. The 315s in the rear, tight. So don't think you can just throw them on because some cars can't even fit them. But I used a good sized hammer and rolled the lip, and they fit fine. A little bit of rubbing if you hit a turn too hard, but we're planning on going a straight line as much as possible. We hit really tight turns. It's not on purpose. So we'll get some music going for this one, and then we'll throw these. We'll weld these on, throw them on, and then we'll go through some rips. It's getting kind of late, so I'll weld this up, and then we'll plan on tomorrow morning probably getting this car down and cruising around. So, see you guys. Let's be right after this. without ripping the exhaust off. You know, cars that are a lot lower, but pretty sure this is. Scrapes coming out of the driveway. I got a problem with computer connecting to the laptop. Otherwise, I guess we'll find out whether or not it's easier to hear me when I drive. Let's go find a place to have some fun. You would think being out here in the middle of nowhere, there's a bunch of places, but not a whole lot. I really rely on the laptop for a bunch of things. So if they're not hooked up, it doesn't give me the warm and fuzzies. And I have oil pressure, fuel pressure, air-fuel ratio. I guess the only thing I don't have is a reliable water temp, because all I have is a factory gauge, and it kind of sucks. Really should have brought the draggy. Kind of upset I didn't. I'll tell you what, we need fuel. Let's turn around and head back, grab the draggy, and then grab some fuel. boys. Let's go find a place. We're not going that way. That was not a big bump, and it's great. We're gonna have to figure something out. I mean, figure out a way to get this set up a little higher. See, I've never been this way. Let's see if we regret. Nah, it's fine. Fine. Regular old street driving, don't scrape at all. You get those good country roads, you know what I'm saying? Where the highly paid county employees pave. Get some air moving in there. Pull that intercooler down. And Alright, that was here. All right, boys. So this is what we got here. Let's see. We're gonna have to figure something out with that. So, looks like the band's broke that I had holding it up, that extra inch or so, and an inch matters. So, let's see if we can get this thing in here, and then I'll go through a few things we're gonna have to work on next time. But I'm happy with that draggy pass, even though it's not fast, but it was clean. Like I said, RPM limit's like 4,500 right now with the red line, and I think I was only seeing like 7 pounds of boost. I was shifting early, but the car's pretty sketchy at like 70 mile an hour, so we have to figure that out too. See if we can get this thing in here. Got about 182 coming in. Let's hit that 2-step. All right, boys. So, partial success. I left and made it home. And that's really a big deal, and I had fun. So, what we have holding the exhaust up was those metal zip ties. Hindsight 2020? Probably shouldn't. So we'll figure out a way to weld something up here to hold them up a little higher. I left and it didn't scrape coming out of here, so I'll put you up on something. Hold on 1 second. All right, boys. So I guess we coasted to the 8th mile at 870s, something like that. I really was, easy on it. Shift points low. I'm happy with it, honestly, for what it is for right now. I want to get some more cruises in. I want to show you guys some more cool cars, be able to cruise around a little more, do some more things. I guess my next step is I'll raise RPM up since everything seems to be fine down low. Raise it up to about $6,000. So that'll be my shift point. So, we should raise the shift point. I actually lay into it through third gear. Should be in the 7s, 8th mile. Then I'm happy with that. Timing's low, boost is low, everything can be cranked up, but it's the very beginning of the season. Honestly, I'm happy with it. We're gonna get out somewhere where it's a little bit safer. There's not ditch telephone poles. Like I said, 70 mile an hour seems a little sketchy. I really need to get a cage in this thing. All that's coming. So, like I said, we're gonna document every part of this from where it sits now, from where it was, all the way up until cage, big tires. We're not gonna stop building it. So we'll see what we can do from here on. But I really want to keep the quarter mile stuff for when we're a little bit safer of an area, even if it's Mexico fields on both sides. Telephone pole and ditch isn't my happy place to be. So car's running fine. Everything seems to be okay. I have to get something on the crankcase. It's just blowing oil all over the windshield. Really not a problem until you're in boost. Once it's in 7, 8 psi, it really starts to throw the oil out. But boost is pretty low. We can turn that up a little bit too. I'm comfortable with 15 pounds. We were at somewhere around 20 pounds when it was all first done. I did dial it back to around 10. Like I said, that was 7, 8-ish. And really not staring at the gauge while you're hoping for the best and watch telephone poles. But Fiddle Fart radiator tie downs haven't came in yet. They're supposed to be in yesterday or today, but they're coming. So we'll show you those when they go on. For now, we have zip tied radiator support. But I like the way the Scott Rod panel turned out. I don't even know if I mentioned this yet. The one thing I did notice, probably the only issue that I have, it's not even an issue, it is what it is I wish it sat back just a little bit further. So it doesn't look bad. Right now the bumper's pushed back as far as it can go for what it is. It's up against the intercooler. This is fine, honestly. And once we paint this, we'll maybe sometime this winter we'll pull the motor out, we'll do a whole engine bay, paint it and all that stuff. We're really gonna get the 86 painted this winter too, so while we're at it, we'll do that. But our next step will be tying that exhaust up permanently because what I had didn't hold. Once I did that, it was no problem getting out of here. I didn't hit anything getting out of here, so I think we'll be fine with it. So we'll get that done. We'll get some crankcase going. I ordered the stuff to evac out the exhaust for a crankcase, so run it up all the way back past the mufflers. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it or not because the exhaust has come out in front of the tires, but I don't think it can come out and shoot back that far. The exhaust is screaming out the side. So we'll consider doing that. I'll have to order one. I'll order a catch can. So I'll run these up through a catch can down into the scavenge out the exhaust. So if you guys are interested in learning about scavenging, we'll do something on that next. But everything's fine with the heads. They all seem to be sealing good. I don't have a bunch of pressure in the coolant system anymore. It's cooling good. Like I said, that gauge said cold. It said dead cold, maybe 2 notches up from dead cold. And it was at 180 degrees. So it was within temp, but not dead cold. It should have been normal. So I really got to figure out what's going on with the computer. But we got to go out and have some fun today, and it's really what matters. So we'll I got to do some family stuff, dad life, and then we'll try to do the next video on These fiddle fart radiator tie downs. I got the antenna delete to get rid of that hole over there. It doesn't bother me, but I like the way it looked. And I like supporting small business, so I ordered one of those too. Then we got to get that computer hooked up to the laptop because I want to bump up timing a little bit and I want to raise the RPM a little bit. But until next time, have fun with it.